Heyo, everybody! It's-a me, a Sammy! Well, Christmas time is over, and today is Boxing Day. So, here I am to give you an unboxing video. So, if you hadn't watched my Christmas video yesterday, which for this video it doesn't really matter, two of my gifts that I got for Christmas yesterday were the All Engines Go Push Along Edward and Whiff, and I mentioned on how I was going to unbox them today on the 26th. If you also didn't notice, in the back, I had already unboxed my Bachman, Jeremy, and Sir Tomat's car. I did that yesterday, and of course I did that off camera because I need to use a knife because, you know, that packaging is... You can't use scissors for that. I mean, you can once you get, like, a good enough cut in it, but you're gonna need a knife for that, basically. So, yeah, but these will be easy to unbox on camera, of course. So, yeah, this is my first and undoubtedly only unboxing video that I'm going to be doing this year. My last one was on Henry last year, and that was in, like, I don't know, June or July. I think maybe it was June of last year. So, yeah, I mean, at least I got some kind of unboxing video out before the end of this year. The reason why... Now, I actually have collected a lot of, like, things that are still new in packaging, a lot of which are on my shelf, and, like, you should know if you viewed most of my community posts from this year, a lot of them I've just been showcasing, like, a lot of the new Taken Plays that I've been purchasing new in packaging, and, like, I do plan on unboxing them at some point, just not now. I'd like to do, like, a mass unboxing video of them at some point. Recently I purchased a Take Along Daisy for like $22. That was a steal. And yeah, and I also mentioned yesterday in that Christmas video that I had planned on also maybe unboxing maybe like a few of my Taken Plays, at least ones that I know that I was going to use by like the finale of the SC Shorts. For example, I got a Take and Play Rheneas and Butch that I plan on unboxing before everyone else. And I had thought about either doing that yesterday or today for this video, but I think I'm still gonna wait. I mean, if I did go with it still, I probably just would have went with Butch just because, well, Rheneas, I'm obviously gonna customize him to look more accurate to his TV series counterpart, but I'm just gonna wait on both of them. So... yeah, there was also another one I plan on unboxing. 2 months ago, I got a new unboxed Wind Rally Paxton that I was going to replace my original Paxton with. I still have him in his packaging. I'm going to wait on him as well. And there's some other characters as well that I'm not going to tell you because it's secret. But yeah, anyways, I think I rambled on long enough. Now, on to the actual unboxing. First one I'm gonna do is good old Edward. That one train besides that other one train in the back. So, yeah. Now, I've been wanting to get my hands on, well, really a lot of these All Engines Go push-alongs for a while, and I kind of just waited, like... The reason why I haven't gotten my hands on these guys sooner is just because, well, I've been trying to get my hands on other things, whether I need them for video purposes or just for non-video reasons, like Edward here. Like, I mean, yeah, I've done some videos with these All Engines Go push-alongs, but, like, not enough, and, like, I don't plan on making a series out of them, but, you know, I still like the models enough to, you know, purchase them. And, like, there's still... I honestly like to purchase most of, like, the push-along models, but once again, you know, it's not like I'll really need them for video purposes, at least right now, unless something provokes me to, like, make a series centered around my All Engines Go push-alongs. But, yeah. Alright, now on to Whiff. Crap. Alright. So, interesting. I know... Now, my mom got me these. Now, I know she got these from Amazon, because that's where I showed her these were at. And, interesting that I got Whiff here with the 2024 packaging, and Edward with, the 2023 packaging. But that makes sense because I think with like his 2023 packaging, I think is now rare because I think it was only, I don't know. Whiff was kind of a late release in some countries. I know that his single release is in the UK. But like the one with his original packaging, uh, I don't think that was sold like much anywhere. Um, and then like it was quickly phased out with the one that came out with the new packaging for this year. But that's not really important. Anyways, now on to, reviewing the engines here. First one I'm gonna look off at is Edward here because I think he's more interesting out of the two, even though he hasn't done anything in Origins Go as of right now. But yeah, so the most interesting thing about Push Along Edward is the fact that he actually resembles more closely to his original series design with the 4 wheel configuration, as well as only having like 1.5 wheel splashers, as I'll call them. Um, Now, before Push Along Edward was announced, or at least we got images of him, like, I definitely had a feeling that they were going to make a model of him, and, like, I knew because of the fact that he was a 660 in Origins Go, it only makes sense for them to balance it out since the limit amount of wheels that these larger engines have is 8. So it would only make sense if they abstracted, I think I'm using that in the right definition, um, 2 of his trailing wheels. I believe that's what these are called. Um, and 2 of his driving wheels to, even things out, because they wouldn't do anything like how they did with Gordon, James, and Henry here, just because, well, it only makes sense, and besides, Edward looked this way in the original series. But what I wasn't expecting was for them to get rid of one of his wheel splashers. I thought they'd still keep that, but they didn't, and there's hair right there. Oh, whatever. But yeah, that's really interesting, and I'm pretty sure that is because of the fact that they looked at images of him from the original series, and, they were aware of, like, his design there, so, I guess they work some things out. Either way, he does indeed look better than how he does in a current series, and, like, I am also aware, I can't remember who it was. I don't know if it was Michael White or Rick. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Either one of them, I don't know. Some kind of word went around that they were going to like talk to the animators or who about potentially getting Edward redesigned. Oh my god. To look more closer to his original series counterpart. That isn't apparent in season 3. Not sure if it'll happen in season 4. Honestly, I don't really care either way, just because honestly, Edward's design doesn't bother me that much in Origins Go. Whiff's design honestly does a lot more. Um, but yeah, but either way, if he came back looking like this, I'd have absolutely no problem. So, yeah, I also, I will say, even though Edward hasn't spoken, I really do like the face design that they gave for him, because, like, with, obviously, we don't know what his personality is going to be in Origins Go, but, like, to a newcomer, you can tell that he is supposed to be an older engine, and I think that really helps with the fact that he hasn't spoken yet, but you can tell just by looking at his face here that he's supposed to be, like, an old, elderly kind of engine, and that's definitely a unique take on this character's design. So, yeah, it's a very unique design choice for his face, and I do like it. I will say, though, I had noticed yesterday that his face is slightly misprinted, or at least, well, it's not exactly, like, his face is a little shifted off to our left here a bit, his right, though. But, that's not a problem. But yeah, so there's side, there's his cab roof. He does use assets or vectors from Gordon's model in Origins Go, so of course he does here too. Well, actually, Hang on, let me compare these two. Alright, so after analyzing these two, it does seem like that they do share some molds, like how they do in the series. Not everything is reused from Gordon's model on Edwards, but stuff like the cab, the whistle, and maybe the dome, and the tenders here are definitely like the same molding that's used. One thing that is interesting about Edward here is that crap. So unlike Gordon, Henry, and James, his tender chassis is a complete metal piece, whilst with the other tender engines here, they actually have this little metal area in the center of, well, their chassis here, which is interesting. I don't know why they have that metal plate there, but Edward doesn't. So yeah, that's interesting. Overall, there's not much else to say about Edward, other than he's a pretty good model, and, well, he definitely looks better than how he does in the official series, so, yeah. Now it's your turn. So, like with a lot of the other characters, Whiff's motorized model was shown off first before his push-along model. And by the look of how it... And, like, I'm not really into the motorized models all that much. Most of them don't look all too good. Some of them look alright, but Whiff's, yeah, he was one of the weird-looking ones. And I was worried on, like, how he was going to look on his push-along model. I mean, yeah, they've been accurate for the most part, but, like, the thing that I was a bit worried about the most, about how Whiff was probably going to look on his push-along model, was his smoke box saddle here, because they made it very wide, wider than his smoke box itself on his motorized model. And, like, technically that is accurate because, I don't know, with his smokebox saddle is actually wider than his smokebox in All Engines Go. And, like, honestly, I don't think that would look too good with the limitations that the push-along models have in some areas. But, they actually kind of made the exception here, and, well, they actually made it thinner, and it actually looks a lot nicer this way. I honestly thought it looked something like James here, where it's just... I don't know why they made James's smokebox saddle so wide, and, like, it makes it even more baffling to me with Edward here, because, like, his smokebox saddle is the right size, and, like, then just look at James, where it's wide enough to the point where if you looked at it from a far away point, you wouldn't even notice, like, the I don't know. I don't know what terminology to use, but, like, this part sticking out. He almost looked like, I don't know, Pure Sam? Is that a good comparison? Like, he has that kind of, like, smokebox shape, basically. But yeah, Whiff's looks fine. So, yeah, interesting thing about his push-along model is that they didn't use his promo image right here for his main face. Now, they did the same thing with Harold, and he was the first one to, like, have that exception where, like, the singular, like, when you get these characters in their singular packs, the faces that they're gonna have are based on their promo art faces, but Whiff was the exception. Like, this is a face that you get as an exclusive in, like, a set, but no, it isn't. And to be fair, I do kind of prefer this look as opposed to that one, because it looks a little more like James than he does in the main series. But to be fair, I do think that they did reuse, like, some of James's vectors to make Whiff's model. And yeah, that's kind of why I'm not into his design all that much in All Engines Go, and why I think Edward honestly looks better than Whiff, but the worst is probably Farmer Cole's in terms of, like, comparison to their original designs, but yeah, that's not important. So, nice grime detailing on the side. It's very glossy, which is ironic. There's his back. Fun fact about Whiff, he's one of the few... There's like 3? No, wait. I think... Well, besides Duck now. not counting Duck, because we haven't gotten a full image of what his design is going to look like. But, like, just counting Whiff, Thomas, Percy, and Nia, they're the only tank engines so far in All Engines Go, and Whiff is the only one to actually have coal in his bunker in the main series. I don't know why, like, with Thomas and Percy and Nia, they added coal in their bunkers on, like, their push-along and motorized models, even though they don't have that in the series. And, like, yeah, kind of just under the impression that they don't run on coal in All Engines Go. And honestly, that might apply to anyone else with visible coal in their tenders and bunkers. But, yeah, fun. That doesn't matter right now. His whistle, or whistles, are molded on his cab roof, similar to James, because, well, if they were separate pieces like everyone else's, well, they'd just be freaking tall. But, yeah, that's about it. Now, his wheels, alright, now, Mattel has been weird, when it's been, like, coming to, making these push-along models. Like, one thing is, like, giving certain characters painted buffers, like, the tank engines, and then others, like the tender engines here, apart from James, well, at least with his front buffers, those were painted, but not the rest of his buffers. But, like, those are all left unpainted. Now, that's one thing, but, like, it's another thing with, like, the wheels. Like, they only give certain characters these wheel printed details. Like, they gave all the main characters printed wheel detailings, apart from Bruno. Like, I mean, they say he's a main character, but, like, I'm still waiting for him to be, you know, in the theme song and for him to appear in more than half of the season for him to be considered a main character, even though I like Bruno. Speaking of Bruno, I feel bad. I completely forgot that I had to push along Bruno and I didn't bring him out for this video. There we go. I'm so sorry, Bruno, for not having you in this video. But back on to what I was talking about. But, like, apart from Bruno, they gave all the main characters painted wheels. And then, like, just about every side character unpainted wheels. And, like, James here, he, like, him, Winston, and Toby, who have black wheels, their wheels technically aren't even, like, I don't know, like, I don't know what terminology to really, like, what manufacturing terminology to use for this, but, like, you know, if you have one, you should know what I mean, and, like, you can still see, like, on camera on how, like, this plastic that they use, it's like a metallic gray, and you can see, like, the visible, like, I don't know what terminology to use, but, like, you can see, like, visible, like, lines and, like, plastic mesh. I don't know what makes plastic, but yeah, you can see what I mean. But, like, yeah, I freaking hate, I hate that on their models. But, like, then they make the exceptions with a few characters. I mean, Emily's a weird one, because only her driving wheel is painted, and everything else is just left plain. And then, like, you have characters like Whiff and Salty and now Duck who have painted wheels, and, like, I'm happy about that, especially with Whiff and Salty, since their wheels are also black. But, like, it's just confusing. Like, I don't know, it could be budget reasons, but, like, I don't really know how that would work in that case, because, like, why you do certain characters with painted wheels and then others not? I mean, it's one thing if you only give the painted wheels to maybe, like, the main characters, but then, like, you just, like, pick out random side characters to get painted wheels. Like, I don't get that. But yeah, so they gave painted black wheels to Whiff and Salty, and I'm happy about that. And I do plan on getting a push along Salty at some point, but I'd also like to get I'd like to get 2 Whiffs and 2 Salties, because I really want to do a wheel swap with if I ever do get an extra Whiff and Salty, with James here, so he can have actual, like, proper painted wheels. And, like, honestly, I like if I were to ever get Winston and Toby, I do plan on getting Toby. I don't really like Winston's push along design all that much because like like in exchange for like making him shorter in length like Sammy here, they had to stretch him out in height. So he honestly looks weirder than like his previous diecast designs, but like yeah, but like either way, I wouldn't want to like get more salties or whiffs just to like do that wheel exchange. But like I would just like to get one extra whiff and salty just to do it for James here because he really needs it. But yeah, I'm not sure when I'm gonna get like a salty, and like if I do get like an extra saltine whiff, then I would do that in stores so I'm not spending extra money on them online. Um, Now, I could also do that will exchange with like Duck for whenever he releases in the US or whenever, I get him, and like I definitely plan on like getting him because Duck, it's Duck. Mattel really does care. I care a little too much about Duck. Why is he my second favorite character? Anyways, but I wouldn't do like a wheel exchange with him. Like I've seen other people do it. He does look better with the black wheels, but I'm not gonna do that for whenever I get his push along model just because it's unnecessary. Or at least in my eyes, I'd rather keep him accurate to how he's gonna look in the show. So yeah, I apologize for basically ranting about these toys for children for I don't know. I've done it at different points in this video already, so the total might just be like 5 minutes of me ranting about toys for children. Um, but that's just how I be. I'm sorry. Alright, now that my rant is over, that is where I'm going to be ending this unboxing video, which, well, of course, the unboxing section lasted for like 1.5 minutes. I don't know. Um, but yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed this video. Alright, so of course, off screen, am going to customize these, so give Edward painted buffers, also repaint Whiff's buffers here, give them headlamps, and yeah, that'll basically be it. But, yeah, so, see you guys on, New Year's Eve with my, yearly New Year's Eve video, which is $1.10. Not that that really matters, but yeah.